Now, if you want to display your models for everybody to see, let's say you have a friend that's in New Guinea and you wanted to show your model to them, but they didn't have Maya or they didn't have Blender. You just wanted to email somebody, hey, check this out, and it pops up. There's a wonderful website called Sketchfab. They're paying me absolutely nothing to make this video, but I basically love this place, so I want to support it. And especially with students, I would say this is a great portfolio builder. Again, you can easily put these in, forums and Facebook and all that good stuff where you can promote yourself a little bit more. So, what you do, you open up a Sketchfab account. It's absolutely free. If you want some of the extra features, it does cost a little bit more. And let's say you want like more models, more space, everything else. Yes, it costs a little bit, but I still have the free account. I still like it. I haven't gone that way yet, but I'm planning to. So, let's say we have a project, and it's a study that we worked on in one of the classes, like this. This is multiple mesh, multiple material. Okay, so it's the worst case scenario. And you'll see I have 2 normal maps and 2 color maps. This system online supports normal map, specular map, color map, and a few other maps. Alright, what you would do is you would open up all your textures. So I'm just going to pretend I haven't done this yet. Okay, let's say you have TGAs, which is one of the things that we always do because we're always using the UDK. So here's my color maps and my normal maps. They're all in TGA format. They need to be in PNG format or JPEG. I would highly suggest you use PNG. So this is a normal map. The normal maps, the engine on NetFab, run it a little bit weak. So if you want to pump up your normal map for it, you go to levels and you kill all the excess dead pixels here, like this. Okay, so now you have a very lean normal map, and we can save that information out. I put a new folder in here just for Sketchfab stuff and call it PNG. This is my wood normal map. Here's this one. Again, if you want to pump up the level of detail here, kill those dead pixels. This is the blue region, we're not worried about that. Okay, so here's my color map. Here's my other color map. Again, even the color maps get washed out quite a bit. This doesn't have any dead pixels, but anything helps. Pre-programmed to make targets. Okay, now very important in Maya has to understand where the things are at. So here's how you do that. It has to build a material file, it's called. So let's pretend that this is my project right here, okay? And what I'm going to do is save it as under a sketchfab where I put all these all these files in here. I'm going to make a separate one, okay, just for sketchfab. That way I don't ruin my UDK variation of it. Let that save out. Okay. Now these are already mounted real well. We just have to switch them out. So I'll click on the bone or the color map for that one and just click this box and aim it at the netfab variation. So the ping one. And I'll hit open. I'll do the same with each one of these. Horse normal map, open. Wood color map, open, and cool. So each one of these should have like netfab, and they have to build correctly, so they have to have no information here about hard drive. Okay, just that. Again, I did that because this is in a project and it's been saved out. Just in case you've been under a rock, a project means that it has been set in a folder. In this case, final project, and there's my netfab folder. Okay, now what you could do is you go File, Export All, and we have to use OBJ. Now, I'll get students that don't have OBJ on, so if you have no OBJ editor or exporter, you go to Settings and Preferences, Plugin Manager, and you choose OBJ. It's located right there. So put a check in both boxes. File, Export All. Make sure it's in the netfab folder where all the textures are. And I'm just going to call that horse bones. Make sure all these are checked on. Okay, so now we can go to that folder. I'm just going to delete my old one here. So this is my horse bones. This is the material file. Basically, when you click on this material file, if you open it in Notepad, it tells you where everything's at. So here's horse color map PNG. Here's bump is indicated by horse normal map period PNG. Okay. Now you'll probably end up re-uploading your normal maps, but this gets you halfway. So these are the files you need. Your OBJ and material file and all your pings. You right click and you say send to compressed zip folder. I'm going to call this horse bones. Just like that. And then I'll pop over to netfab or sketchfab and I will go to my dashboard. Hit upload, browse out, choose my horse bones, and upload. That takes a while because, you know, it's uploading all these massive textures. Okay, so it takes a second to populate all the textures. Bam. And don't expect like instantaneous awesomeness. You have to work at it just a little bit. So page down, and see how the normal map didn't carry in? So what you do is click on the square. It'll ask you to upload, and you choose the horse normal map. And you can close that out. And this has multiple materials, so you can choose material 0 would be okay, so this one right here is material 1, and that's why you didn't see it. So material 1, here's my normal map. Choose it. That a lot more detail popped in. You can see it now. And material 0 is my wood texture, so that gets my other normal map. Whoops. Awesome. This has no specularity, but the skull does. That's my other study. I'm going to choose to back down specularity. Make sure normal map is all the way up. A few things that you can change. Make sure that you label this. Your name. Always promote yourself a little bit. And kind of your intention. It's another thing. And now another thing you could do, you know, just as I said, promote yourself as much as you can. You know. So I'll copy this and paste it here. There's a nice backdrop. Having it darker really does help. And if you upgrade to Pro, you can have more variation of that. I think you can also have your own, if you zoom out, see how it's got this thing here? I think you can have your own watermark there too. This is right here is Ambient Occlusion. You click that on. You see sometimes if your engine doesn't, or video card doesn't support it very well, it might not work too good. And it becomes a little fuzzy to look at. I just back it down to something like 1 or something like that. Something really small. You can also choose to have the wireframe on. Sometimes people like to see that. But it also tells you how many polygons this is. So I don't know if you want to do that or not. And that's per material. So if I went to this one, I can have the wireframe showing. I'm going to choose not to have that on. Alright, so you can save this out. And if you want to link it to send it to somebody, you can just send it to your Facebook or embed it or whatever. It's really nice. It's kind of like embedding a video. It's very universal too. So if I just went to this URL, this is what pops up for somebody that I send that email to. And it takes a second to populate all the textures and stuff. Perfect. So that's how you kind of promote yourself, as when you want to show off your models as students. I hope you enjoy.